And right now, we're going to be doing some art here on the couch. Well, not actually practically doing some art. Why? Because the process of putting together terracotta is such a long one that we have to ask him all the details. Who am I talking about? Mr. Ahmed Akinrinola, contemporary artist known for his expressive visual constructions and diverse media. Today, he's going to be showcasing some of his really, really unique work and sharing some insights on his creative journey. It's great to have you here, Abiodun.
Thank you very much.
All right, getting an artist out of his workshop is like, I don't know, it's like we have to tear you away from your workshop today because of how much work you're always doing almost all the time. So I mentioned terracotta already. We've started having a conversation on what terracotta is. For people that don't know what it is, talk to us about that.
Okay, terracotta in a simple term is just fired clay.
Fired clay.
Fired clay,
okay.
Yes. So some people call it ethnic ware.
Okay.
Just the same process used in creating the clay pots.
Okay.
Just local clay pots and then plates and all of that.
Okay.
So for terracotta pieces, first you need to process the clay so that you remove all the residue, the stone and all of that until it's smooth enough for you to work with.
Yeah.
So once you have that, you can use that to create a mold, sculpt whatever it is you want to sculpt, and then make sure it's smooth enough, make sure it's not too thick and not too thin.
Interesting.
So that when you fire it, it doesn't blast. Blast is when it's too thick.
Yeah.
Yes, it might blast.
And it would crack.
Yes, it will crack.
Yes,
Crack. That's what we call blast. It will just crack,
fantastic.
and then by the time you see your piece, you'll be like, wow, what happened?
What happened?
Yes.
So now, when we think of pottery,
yes.
We think of the spinning wheel, but we know that that clay looks very refined. And then we think about all the beautiful red clay that we have here in Lagos. What's the difference between the red clay we have in the ground and the one they use for the clay pots? Is it the same clay?
Okay, yes, it is the same clay, but it depends on the location where you find that particular clay.
Okay.
In Nigeria, there's some parts of the country where you have black clay.
Oh, okay.
Yes, there's a particular clay we call golden clay. It looks like ochre yellow. And then there's the common red clay, like the one they use for bricks and all of that.
Beautiful,
yes.
beautiful. Well, I know it's not just clay you work with or terracotta you work with. You also work with metal as well.
I do.
Like we have a piece here on set with us. What is this piece called?
Okay, the title is Mica.
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 Okay.
Mica, that's M-A-Y-K-A.
Why mica, and what is mica made of?
Okay, first, Mica is a name I got from a particular movie, so I can't remember the title, but it's about a lady. She's very strong, very bold. So I fell in love with that particular name, Mica. So in creating this piece, I was like, okay, what can I put together to actually signify this boldness of this name that I want to work with? So I decided to bring terracotta and metal together.
Okay.
So because most of my works, it involves bringing different materials and then seeing how we can use them to create something beautiful.
Beautiful. Now, I can see that there's metal in the I think that's supposed to be like a hat, a cap.
Yes.
And then there's the terracotta face, which is the clay.
Yes.
And then there's a metal body and what seems like arms and clothing, like a cape.
Yes, you're
right?
You're right.
Now, it's very intricate, very detailed, and it looks like it took a very long time to put together. But let's talk about the metal work now.
Yes.
You had to weld, I believe.
Yes.
Is it the same welding machine we see the average welder using that you use for this, or what is it?
Yes, it's the same welding machine that average welder that you see on the road uses.
Okay.
That we used to. But then for us, we have different spec. There's 250 watts, there's 350, depending on the level of thickness you want to work with.
Okay.
So that's how you control the type of welding machine you want to make use of. So it's the same welding machine, you can use it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the process itself, that's the welding process, it's a very rigorous one.
Okay.
Because you need to practice that for quite some time before you now decide to use welding as a process in creating your art pieces. Yes.
Beautiful, beautiful. Now, I know that putting this together is not easy, and it probably took a very long time, but of course you have experience in this now. You've been doing this for quite a while. From what we can see on the screen, you've already put some really intricate pieces out there into the world.
Yes.
Where is your most famous piece right now?
Yeah, one of my most famous pieces right now is in the Oyasaf collection. That's owned by MEC Shillong Foundation.
Okay.
Yes, I happened to create one of my pieces back after school. So I got an award as the
Wow.
most deserving student, and
Wow.
then he offered me residency at the Art Foundation, where I got to create a large piece, which he commissioned. That's an Oyasa from YMC Shillong. And I really enjoyed the process of creating that piece, and I'm glad that it's housed in that Art Foundation. And if I need to refer people to the space to see some of my works,
Yeah.
apart from the major one that I did there, he has some other works in that collection.
Amazing. So how large is this piece?
It's 8 feet.
8 feet.
Yes. 8
Wow.
by 8 feet, yes.
8 feet tall.
8 feet tall.
And
yes.
it's a sculpture of what?
Yeah, it's an abstract sculpture. It's cubic. It's cubic, and then the title is Origumeri.
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 What does that mean?
Origumeri is like the four corners of the world. Yeah. For some of my pieces, I tend to use some adages and proverbs from the Yoruba culture, and then see how I can use that to create an art piece, and also sharing knowledge with people and letting people know, okay, there are some of these things that we need to look into in our culture and promote it.
Yes. So there, I saw quite a few pieces on your social media page that have a similar face structure to what you brought today.
Yes.
And you tagged them Okola.
Okola, yes.
Okola.
Okola.
So I did notice the fact that you're using Yoruba terms here.
Yeah.
But talk about Okola and the similar pieces you put together in that series.
Okay, Okola started as an experiment in 2020 during Corona.
Okay.
So I was just in the studio, and I mean, everybody was observing lockdown.
Okay.
I was locked down in my studio, just playing with clay, and then I was just reading Yoruba culture, Yoruba sculptures.
Okay.
And then one thing that is evident in Yoruba sculpture is the erebeji and some other figurines as such. And then they were mostly embellished with patterns, and then the Okola, with marks, tribal marks, which also signifies the place where that particular sculpture was made.
Okay.
For the Egba, for the Ibadan, or like that.
Yeah.
So I fell in love with the tribal marks, and then I started reading further, and I was like, wow, I like this. I mean, this is already fast disappearing in our culture, and let me just infuse this in some of my works. And then after trying it out, I developed some techniques around it, and I found it very interesting. And so I decided to create a body of work. I told them Okola series. So since then, it became my signature portrait.
Whenever people see it, for you now.
Yeah, when people say, like, ah, these are Abiodun's work, I said,
yes. Exactly. It has become a signature for you, and from what we can see, all these pieces are so beautifully made, well done. And the Okola, I will be looking out for those pieces in artworks as well. Thank you so much, Abiodun, for coming to talk to us about your work. And good luck with your next collection. We can't wait to see it.
Okay, thank you very much.
All right, at this point, we'd love for you to, visit us on social media and tell us what you think about Abiodun's work. Use our hashtag #WakeUpNigeria on TVC and tag us on IG. That's WakeUpNigeria TVCE. Can't wait to see your messages. Let's take a quick break. We have more coming up after this.